Everybody, Justin Recla here. Next episode of Incorporating SuperPowers. And today we're going to get raw. Today we're going to get real. My guest today is my good friend Daniel Ruke, otherwise just known as Ruke in the industry. We're going to be talking about something that probably going to piss a lot of people off. And at the same time, probably going to have a lot of people going, hell yeah, because today we're calling it out. We're just calling it like it is. And today we're talking about fuck the gurus and how and examining what that looks like in the industry. We've seen it, you've seen it, Ruke sees it, and that's why we brought him on the show here, is to talk about this. Ruke has done some amazing work in the world. He's extremely gifted, extremely talented. His artwork is amazing. He's done works for the likes of Marvel, Disney, and just some really big name brands out there. And he's getting ready to move into a whole new area with his business and some fine art and some stuff. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later today as well. But first and foremost, Ruke, welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here. What's up, baby? Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. This is, we were talking right before the show. We were kind of, okay, what the hell are we going to talk about, you're off doing your thing in your world. We're off doing our thing in our world. Okay, well, where can we meet? And again, this show's about uplifting people. And I want just to call it, get it. The title of the show is called Fuck the Gurus. And there is a light in this, and this is what we're talking about this today. So hit me, brother. What is before we dive into this topic, share a little bit about who you are, what you're doing, and what that looks like for you.
Sure. So privately trained as an artist since the third grade. What I do today, I've been doing my entire life. I have been fortunate enough to take my passions and talents and actually make a business out of it. So what I do is I help CEOs build companies that honor their family, their passions, and their finances. And my main company, Blink, is where we met. It's 21 years ago I started that, and it's been an amazing ride, and it's spurred out several different brands and companies within it itself. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's go check out his stuff. If you like Star Wars, well, first off,
yeah.
Okay, folks. Your website's still up?
Yeah, well, I put to the Facebook because we're redoing it, because we're about to relaunch the website in total VR. And right now I'm filming my collection. My Star Wars room is about 1,500 square feet in my house. That's being filmed in VR, so you can literally come and play with us. But it's pointed to Facebook, and it's the best Star Wars collection ever. .com.
I've seen it. I've seen it. This
it's amazing.
Doesn't just have all the toys. He's literally gone a step further and customized some of these things to create. When you walk into the room, I've been there, I've seen it. It's like you're literally like you hear the Mos Eisley, the song playing in the background, and it's truly amazing. I'm super excited that you're going to be able to put that into the VR realm and share that experience with everybody else who is able to go and check it out. So be sure you check it out. The best Star Wars Galaxy, the best Star Wars collection.com.
Ever.com. I have that one too. I have all the derivatives. That's how you own about 400 domains. But the best Star Wars ever.com, that'll go to my Facebook page, and I am updating it with different things. And hey, talk about your superpowers. Talk about owning your superpowers. Hey, playing with your toys is part of your superpowers, ladies and gentlemen. It can make you successful.
If you can't play, you're not doing it right. So
here's superpowers on success. Someone else identified this, and I didn't identify that. Someone said, "So what do you do as a hobby?" And I'm trying to think. I don't have hobbies, because every one of my passions I turn into a business, and not even necessarily working hard at it either. So don't think about that. That said, I said, well, I do have a Star Wars collection. I said, wait a minute, but I have a Star Wars team that sets everything up. They go, man, you outsource your hobby? I said, yeah, if you really want to use your superpowers, you can even outsource your hobbies like that. And so go see what my team did.
So folks, the reason why I wanted to have Ruke on the show is this is something that we both see across the board. This is what we see in the due diligence arena, what we see in the personal development and coaching arena, and it's the fact that there's all of these gurus out there that are selling the same product, the same service, the same message, repackaged in a different way to the same 150,000 people. And we were just talking about that. Ruke, why is that happening? Why are we seeing that in the industry right
Well, it's interesting because I think because we have an explosion of mass communication condensed in a single platform, primarily Facebook. And so you're exposed to a lot of things that you're normally not exposed to, which is a beautiful thing. You know, I mean, we're high performing experts with Facebook, and we've taught even you guys, right? So we teach that. That's one of our famous stuff. And when people misuse that power or do it out of ignorance, it can really screw up a lot of people. And, you know, the F gurus, you know, attitude is what you and I were talking about. You know, I got pissed off and I started a whole community to solve this problem, but I'm freaking sick and tired of people's dreams getting stalled out and crushed because of overreaching and just non-experts be saying that they're experts. You know, there's a saying called "fake it till you make it," right? And marketing, you kind of, you know, this, you know, listen, I'm an illustrator, you know, and I speak things into matter. So I bring visions to life professionally. So I know what it looks like to fake it, right? And I make things that look real and they don't exist. So I know that world. I've been doing that professionally, and that's different advertising, but it crosses lines when people are talking to people who are trying to start a business and who are very, very naive, and they don't realize, I'm talking about the gurus, the ripple effect that they cause and the responsibility they truly have, because they don't want to be accountable. And they're like, well, that's not my job. And you know, and they're adults, they can make their own decisions and all this. Is like, no, if you're a leader, you have a responsibility to not use your powers. And when people use their superpowers, and whether some people even recognize they have it, right? We can say, for those who aren't awoke, it could be influence, right? You can use they use their influence, whatever that means to you. Use it, you know, take that to heart. But people misuse it out of good, you know, sometimes malice and out of just, you know, naive. I mean, I have people who said, I can help you with that. I can do that for you. But what they were really saying in their mind was, oh, I can figure that out, right? And I'd like to help you with that. What was heard was, oh, you can do it, and you're a revered expert, so therefore you can. No, that's two different. That's a miscommunication, right? You got to be transparent.
And it also goes back to the concept that a lot of the gurus feed from a selling perspective of, if you know you can help somebody, if you think you know you can help somebody, you're obligated to sell them. And you know what, folks, that is so ugly. It is so desperate. And we've seen it over and over and over again. And you're right. The same 30, 40,000 people chasing their dreams, bouncing back and forth between this guru and that guru or this guru. It's absolutely insane. And so I want to go into this a little further, Ruke, but before we do, where can people go find you?
You know what? I love right now. I'm really fixated. If you want to take it to the positive, worlddominatingbrand.com. Worlddominatingbrand.com. That is our education arm. It's where our world dominating CEOs play. It's our own private network. You can get my lessons, get cool stuff there. That's a good place.
Go check it out. We're going to talk about that a little bit more after the break. We'll be right back.
Are you an entrepreneur who speaks at conferences? Have you attended a conference and seen someone on stage you know is guilty of bad business practices? If you want to stand out from the crowd and give your prospective clients peace of mind, then make sure your business is in the Clear Directory. All of our members operate in transparency and are screened annually for frauds and scams. Stand out from the crowd and get in the Clear Directory. Visit clearbusinessdirectory.com/join to sign up today.
All right, welcome back from the break. Before the break, before the commercial, we were talking to Ruke, who's the CEO and founder of Blink Media. He's done some great work in the world, done some really big stuff with some really big people, talking about F the gurus, but I want to bring forward a little bit more of what you're doing in the world with the world dominating mindset, because it's countering what the gurus are saying. I've been at your presentations. I've seen that. We sat and we shared the stage together and talked about these kinds of things in depth. And what I love, folks, if you've never seen Ruke talk, if you've never been to one of his presentations, go check it out. if you can go watch him, it's amazing that the information sheets that he hands out alone that you can take and look at, and it's been diagrammed out, it's been mapped out, it's got colors, it's got images, it speaks to the visual, it speaks to the people that read. He's going to go grab one right now. So for those of you watching the video, he just walked off camera. He's coming back and boom, there he is. This kind of material right here, and he hands it out for free, folks. Connect with Ruke if you're in the creative space, if you're in the website space, and if you're looking to build a world dominating brand. So Ruke, talk to me about this. Why did you create the world dominating brand? And I know we talked about it, because of offsetting the gurus and what they're doing in the world. Talk to me about the world dominating brand.
So here's, professional background. Artist privately trained since the third grade. You know that, all that good stuff. I've been running. I've owned and ran them and still run. Although I do have a team that leads the majority of it at this point in my life. A full service marketing advertising firm. So I'm very much used to taking napkin ideas and launching them. We've launched hundreds of brands products in the last 21 years that business has existed. Understanding that in the agency world, it's very normal. In the guru space, people like to put you in silos and put you in a box. You know me, I don't like boxes, right? I don't even recognize that they're actually there. If you're gifted and have superpowers, there are no boxes. There's really not. And they like to do that. A lot of it's out of their own comfort zone. A lot of it's out of how they can understand how they fit in the world, right? Because a lot of people, when they are around the world dominating brand, who are niche experts, but really not handling the big stuff, they feel small real quick. And I get that. So I totally get that. That said, I'm an agency. So we do branding, marketing, sales, all this stuff, speaking, all this stuff as a profession, as a business every day. It's how I make my living. Because of the need out there, because of the lack of direction, because of people going, I'm going to fake it till I make it, or because of their own understanding of, well, I could figure that out, but didn't explain that, but tried to figure it out and failed with people. I got pissed off and I said, great, I'm going to do something different. And it actually started with my lecture. And you were there the first time I taught. And I said, listen, if I'm going to teach, if I'm going to do a keynote, I'm going to give them real answers. I'm not going to sell anything. And I'm not going to hold anything back. So I've been developing 64, they're up to 60 formulas now, internally that I used to train my team to make sure that we're on the same page. It's how I scaled my business, then with our clients, and then from stage. And so I printed them up and I handed them out. I said, no, this is everything you need to know right here and then. And that was great. And it led to a lot of ripple effects of positive things. Some scary things. And I've had gurus actually say, holy shit, I charged 30 grand from that. It compelled people so much. They said that out loud while I was teaching. That said, I like to come with the solutions. And since we do that stuff, I start documenting and handing those out. And I decided to start teaching it directly. And so the world dominating brand, which came out of that keynote, is now an entire life of its own, where we teach entrepreneurs how to really build a business, real business, not a job, a real business that honors their family, their passions, and their finances. And we meet every Wednesday. And it's so much fun. It's unbelievable. And it is to counteract a lot of stuff. And the most common people say is, I spent 100 grand in 3 years. I spent 40 grand in 2 years. And I've never made money with my business. I'm now making money within 48 hours, within 7 days, within 30 days. And I didn't believe it, right? So I'm not here to say, you better give a disclaimer. Results aren't typical, right? It surprised the heck out of me.
But I like how you bring that up. I mean, folks, this may be you. If you're listening to this, there's a good chance that this may be you. You've bounced from guru to guru to guru. You've taken this course, you've taken that course, and you did the home study course, and then, they came into town and you spent $25,000 for the mastermind, and you still find yourself stuck in your business because the people that you're hiring are trying to figure out your business. And this is what I loved about the information that you put out there, Ruke, is that on that sheet that you shared, when you handed it out, it was like a, oh, right? It was kind of like a, here's how it's done. And what was beautiful is that it doesn't require you knowing my business.
No, because it's how it works.
Exactly. It's very formulaic to the website design and the content and all those kinds of things. It's very formulaic, folks. we implemented it into our business and how we do things, and we took what was needed, and it's so invaluable. And that's what I love is one of my favorite gurus going around right now, and I'm not going to say his name out loud because I'll probably butcher the slogan, but it was essentially, I'll help you make hundreds of $1,000s in the industry overnight, right? And I'm like to myself, how can he know all these things? And he's literally selling himself as if he can help you make money in fashion design or website design, or the man's apparently done it all, right? But I just don't understand that. And it's just such a bold-faced claim that is 99% of the time when you see those kinds of claims just aren't true, and they're designed solely to buy into your emotional well-being and taking advantage of that and just getting you to buy the course. So Ruke, if you haven't picked up on it yet, just calls it like it is. So Ruke, talk to me more about, I want to dive into this a little bit further. What makes, I know you've got the group or whatnot, but let's just call it, are you on those calls or is that your team?
Oh no, it's me. Oh yeah, no, and they get one-on-ones with me, and that is I don't have now. My team is there because I have to have that support, and I have experts, right, niche experts of marketing, branding, messaging, sales, and all that. But it's my team that I work with me day in, day out with my company and only for my company. And so no, and it's not. And this is what's different about it. It's not do it yourself. It's done with you. Now we have, and the reason why this works is we have my primary income is from my agency, which is a do it for you service. It's a done for you service. So we're a full service agency, and that's a big difference. So when you're looking at gurus and how do you know a guru is real or not? Here's one thing, and I poke fun of this is true. And while I am teaching, it's a part of diversification for me to sell my company. FYI, it's only smart. My primary living is actually doing the work. So when you're hiring someone and the primary income is them teaching others, there's something wrong there if you're taking marketing strategy and branding strategy and sales strategy and speaking strategy, and their whole business is just an education business. And the main income is from selling that product, meaning the teaching. You got a problem right there. And here's why, Jay, because in today's world, we're moving so fast. The reason why my stuff works and I keep on top of it, because we spend millions of dollars in media in my agency, and I can bring the latest information of what's going on right to you right then and there. If I was stuck in the education world and you look at those formulas, a lot of them are 10 years old, 15 years old, 5 years old, right? And it's just being regurgitated and rubber stamped, and it doesn't work that way. It can't.
It can't. And not only that, but it's impossible for it to keep up with the continual changes in algorithms within Facebook and Google and all of these things. And people don't realize that you have to be able to stand on your own as a brand. You can build up an entire business just within the Facebook platform itself, but that means that you're not getting picked up anywhere else. You've got one funnel to come in, and guess what? Facebook owns you by the ball. They've got you by the balls in that scenario, right? And so if you really want to have a world dominating brand, you've got to expand out and take a look at all of it and recognize that Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google, those are all fictitious environments, folks. Yes, you have to play in them, but they're fictitious. They don't define your brand, who you are, the information you deliver, how you show up. That's what defines the brand. That's what guarantees the success. And anybody selling you a system on how to crack Facebook ads is selling you something that's outdated 6 months ago.
Right. Well, and here's a joke. The sales funnel that you bought, that person built two. One to figure out a problem that they solved, and the second one they built was to sell you on the sales funnel. That's a freaking guru. Right? It's like, the hell?
Just call it like it is, folks. And here's the thing. You can still build a business. You don't have to do all those things. You can focus on one or two. You can try to dominate all. It doesn't matter as long as you go into it with an awareness of, if you're buying this Facebook system, you're buying this LinkedIn system, you're spending money on something that is probably outdated. And the minute LinkedIn changes their algorithms, or Google changes their algorithms, or Facebook changes their algorithms, they're done. And we're starting to see that more and more in those platforms, because they're limiting the number of API integrations that third-party services can work with those systems, because people like LinkedIn, Facebook, and whatnot are realizing that people are designing these workarounds, selling these systems, and it's taking money out of Facebook's pocket. It's taking money out of LinkedIn's pocket. But yet the gurus are going to continue selling you on shit that you just don't need, because
it's sold out of desperation, right?
Yes,
And one big killer is they feed into the vanity. I one of the biggest things that I come across when people say, "Hey, Ruke, I'm about to go do this." Like, so right now there's a buzz about TEDx. I'm going to do a TEDx. I'm like, well, great. What if it works? Can you handle that if it actually works? Are you set up as a business to actually make that work? And they're going, well, no, I didn't think of it that way. Right. So you got to treat it like a business. Get rid of the vanity, right? Your desires are important, but get rid of the vanity and just treat your business like a business. It's a separate entity. It needs things that are separate from you. Now, you can have a one-to-one playground like I have, right? But I still treat it like a business. And it's that practicality that actually helps. And when people don't want to treat it like a business because of their comfort zone, because I don't want to do the work or whatever, business is hard. And there's always a guru go, well, you can take my system and help this person, And it's not. There's no silver bullets. But I'll tell you this, in the opposite direction of that, if they were selling it this way, the world, the speaking, the smaller conferences, the guru world is totally imploding if they sold it correctly. Because if you think about it, even the people, the clients that I have, that like I've spent $150,000, I'm now making money for the first time ever, and I have a pipeline. I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. Understand, if they said, well, this is better than college, okay. And it's okay if you're doing it for education, but it's not being sold that way. Right? They're being sold that, oh, I got this, and I can figure that out, and I can lead you. It's like, golly, guys, come on.
No, and the reason for that is I both know is money, because if you're selling an education system, it's $1,200. But if you're selling you, and you're selling the dream, and you're selling it, this is gonna make you money, I can sell for 25 grand, and really it's a $25,000 education to learn how systems work for you to be able to see behind the scenes. And the next guru comes along and tries to say the next thing, and really it's just them ahead of the curve, but it changes 6 months down the road anyways. Folks, here's what it boils down to. If you haven't been able to figure this out yourself, you still have to do the work. A guru is not a guru is not going to do it for you. No matter how good the system is, you still have to do the work. And guess what, folks? It's okay to be where you're at. If you're not ranking one on Google right now, that's okay. There might be a reason for it. Like Ruke said, could you handle right now an influx of 1,000 new clients a month? If you can't, then why would you buy a system? Build up the foundation of your business first, so you can attain that level of success. I love it. You'll real quick story for you, Ruke. We actually had Google reach out to us because our site's getting a lot of attention, a lot of traction because of the podcast and such. And they reached out and said, "Hey, we want to work with you and whatnot." And I get talking to the guy on the phone. It was full. They were gonna, as long as we had this much money in ad spend and so forth. And during the call, the guy goes, "Is your show Superpower Experts?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You got a show called Superpower Mamas?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "My wife was just listening to your episode on anxiety and whatnot." And so I had to laugh. I said, "Google knows us. This is cool." But what came from that is they were wanting to help us build a funnel into our coaching programs, right? We've got 7, 8 coaches right now that are part of our coaching programs, and we can handle a certain amount of clients each month. Simple as that. What they were wanting to do for us sounded really exciting. And she goes, "Do you think you could handle an influx of 1,000 new people a month?" I'm like, "No, no, please don't. That will implode the business." So folks, it's okay to be where you're at. And if you're wanting to connect with somebody who calls it out, and you're wanting to learn, because that's what it's being sold, that's what he's offering, is education and learning how to figure this out yourself, and give Ruke a shout out, connect with him, reach out to him. Definitely go check out the Star Wars collection. I'm excited to see when that comes out in VR. So, brother, tell me one more time, where can people go find you?
worlddominatingbrand.com. It's for those who are wanting the real formulas, not hacks, not BS, real formulas for building a business that honors your family, your passions, and your finances.
Right there, folks. Been to the man's house. He's like a giant 13-year-old kid. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
Xbox, the whole 9 yards. It's nothing wrong with that. This is the way why you probably got in business for yourself as well, so you could do the same. Folks, go out there, do different. Make sure you look at the gurus that you're being sold, what you're being sold, and recognize that they're playing in fictitious environments. And if you really, really want to have the success that you're looking for and seeking, you got to do the work, but you don't have to do it alone. Give Ruke a shout out. Till next time, folks, go out there, change the world, incorporate your own superpowers.